Let's go, baby. Play the song. Play the song. The Philadelphia 76ers come back. We got a series. We have a series, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. We have vintage James Harden. We have the real MVP, Joel Embiid, on the court together for the first time since they pretty much traded for James Harden. Man, we have a series. Thank you for tuning in. This is another episode of the BSP Podcast. I'm your host, Brendan Petrilli. Hope you like the lighting. If you're looking on YouTube, watching on YouTube at BSP Podcast, that's all because of you guys. Shout out to everybody subscribing, following on Instagram and Twitter at Brendan Petrilli and at the BSP Podcast. Like and subscribe to the YouTube page. It's been a lot of fun. Got that ring light. You know, hey, OnlyFans coming next too. Who knows? Let me know if you want a little bit. Nah, but man, absolutely electric. The Philadelphia 76ers. What was I saying? You got to wait to see where Embiid is. If he comes back and can he be the difference maker? And goddamn, yes, he is. Because guess what? You see the way that the Sixers played. They're god-awful shooting. The spacing wasn't there. That's because you're missing a guy that drops you 25 plus a night, plays 40 plus minutes, a defensive monster, 7 foot plus, can shake and bake, can hit the three, can pass the ball. That's the difference. That's what the most valuable player is to a team. And it just so happens he misses the first 2 games because Pascal Siakam hits him in the face with a dirty elbow, which should be in jail, by the way. But then he finally is able to come back, clear concussion protocol, win game 3, where he wasn't really himself, but you see the difference. You saw the energy, the swagger, the confidence on defense that led to offense for other guys, like a Tyrese Maxey, like a Danny Green coming out. Shout out to 2013 Danny Green all of a sudden making shots left and right. Tobias Harris, who's just been solid all playoffs for you now. Finally becoming a man, realizing I'm a big dude. I can do this. I'm that guy. I'm getting paid to be that guy, and I'm doing it. He's doing it on the defensive side and offensive. Not anything crazy, but he's been solid, and that's what you need because you have guys like Joel Embiid back, and that presence that he puts is so valuable to this team. And that's why he is the real MVP. 0-2 to the Miami Heat. They looked dead. Everybody knew it. Everybody's like, oh, getting swept. This is absolutely atrocious. See it, Doc Rivers. James Harden's gone. Now look what it's going to be today. It's going to be fun listening to all the podcasts, the talk radio on Twitter, what everybody's going to say about James Harden, because, man, he's back, baby. James Harden, the MVP James Harden, is back in game 4. Wow. Hitting shots left and right, just putting dagger after dagger. Oh, my God. Dropping 31. Every time the Sixers needed that bucket, he wanted it. And that's what you've been waiting for. That's what the Sixers and this fan base has been waiting for. That guy that will get that ball and dribble through the legs. You knew it's coming. You know, he's about to hit him with it. That little shimmy step back, bang in your face, 3-point shot, left and right. He was hitting them tonight. He had his legs on him. You saw the confidence that he had in that third quarter, where you knew he's going to continue the rest of this game, and this is his game. Him and Jimmy Butler were going back and forth, both getting. Jimmy got 40 tonight, but James was answering on the other side of the ball. And that's because the rest of that Heat team had nothing. Bam had 21. The rest of the team had Tyler Hero had 11. Everybody else was less than 10. That's not going to do it for the Heat. They need more production outside of it. And the reason that's such a strong turnaround, where the Heat were shooting 40% from the field and 3-point in the first 2 games to now way below at 22% this game in game 4, is because you have a defensive difference maker. You have the most valuable player on the court opposing you on defense. That's what happens. You saw the difference the makeup, the confidence that he gives this team. And now we got a series. Now we have a series. Kind of saw at the end there, if you were paying attention, got a little glimpse of it when they're shooting free throws. I'm actually shooting free throws. Butler and Embiid were down at the bottom there. Embiid's giving them a little, if you're watching on YouTube, throwing up the 4-0 with me. You guys got us without me. We're going 4-0 with me. Sixers in 6. And that's the confidence. That's the swagger that Joel Embiid gives you, bro. The dominance. It's electric. And the rest of the team feeds off it. Because they were dead. Absolutely dead. Those first 2 games. You put that guy back in there. It's crazy. The best player in the league, put him back on his team. And all of a sudden that they're a top 5 team in the league again. That's wild. That's wild. Shout out Big Cat. But you kind of saw after game 3, Joel's tweeting out the memes about, they didn't care about me until I put on the mask. And Jimmy Butler responds to him, fuck your mask. Jimmy Butler misses Philadelphia so bad, and vice versa. If you saw that little Twitter interaction follow me on Twitter, Brendan Petrilli, but he misses Philadelphia so bad. And dang, imagine if Jimmy was on this team. He was the only one out there getting buckets for that Heat team. They were struggling mightily. You got a guy making $90 million in Duncan Robinson sitting on your bench when you got 2 first and second year guys and Strauss and Garrett out there on the court. And Duncan's not even getting in there. Guy that what they needed instant offense. They needed 3-point shooting, pick and roll, pick and pop. And he's just sitting there. Now that's kind of what the key is going to be going back to game 5 down in Miami is who's going to shoot the 3-point ball the best. Because that's what the first 4 games were all about. Who was shooting and who wasn't. Now, the biggest, another big thing is, will Joel Embiid score 30-plus points? Will he have that stretch where in the first quarter, he scored 13 points. But after that, he kind of put his foot off the gas a little bit, and he let Harden get in that groove. He let Maxey kind of do his thing, Tobias do his thing. He didn't have to do it all. And you saw James Harden finally was able to be capable of putting the team on his back, the guy we've been waiting for, to go and just step back 3 in your face, left and right answer. That's what's going to be the difference now. It's a best of 3. First to win 2. And I think it's going to be Sixers in 6. Been saying it. Because this team with Embiid, this Heat team can't compare. They can't match up. Bam Adebayo cannot match up with Joel Embiid. They can double him, go for it, triple him. You see it every time he gets the ball. They're swatting at him. 3 guys are all over him. He's just got to take his time, kick it out. Even if they don't shoot right away, Maxey is able to slash. That's what I want to see a little bit more. Him and Thibault slash to the hole. Tobias slash, just a little dump off and dunk it, or layups, instead of always relying on that 3-point shot. That's the one thing I want to see the Sixers do moving into the last 3 games of this series. Hopefully 2. Now on the Heat side of the ball, they're going to go for Embiid. They're going to go for Harden. And what's going to take next is Maxey, Danny Green, maybe even a Shake Milton or a Furkan Korkmaz coming off the bench. Who's going to be that guy other than the 2 of them to be able to give you 10, honestly. Give you 10 points. One of those guys, give me 10. Because the rest of them are scoring 20-plus points themselves. Just give me 10 off the bench. That's all you need at this point, George Niang. Because this Heat team on the other side, they got, I don't even know how to, they got names, I guess. They got bodies. They got solid NBA players, but they're streaky, just like the Sixers. But they're streaky, and you can't let them get hot. When you're watching Jimmy Butler go out there and getting bucket after bucket, you're like, good. I'm sitting there watching. Go ahead, Jimmy. Get yours, bro. As long as nobody else scores, as long as Tyler Hero isn't scoring, as long as Strus isn't making threes, Duncan Robinson hasn't even come in. Bam's not getting these big lob shitty dunks. Go ahead, Jimmy. Get yours, because the rest of your team sucks. It sucks if you guys aren't working together. And that's kind of where I'm looking as we move forward into the series. Sixers and 6, baby, because they can't stop Joel Embiid. And that's going to be the biggest thing moving forward. Now, a lot of people are going to be like, beep, 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 beep. And the Mets fans out there, oh, what about the Phillies and the Mets? Yeah, go fuck yourself. We'll see what happens when we get to July, and we'll start talking about it a little bit. Because the Sixers are making a run now. I've always been on the train. I'm waiting for all you guys to come back, hop on. You guys you're going to act like, yeah, you were always there. You guys all thought they were getting swept. Now it's time to crawl back, hop back on, say, Brendan, we'll see. This might bite me in the ass too. The Sixers might lose the next 2, but who knows? That's what's the fun part about this, you know? Thanks everybody again for watching this BSP Podcast Trillion 10. Go follow the Instagram and Twitter at BSP Podcast at Brendan Petrilli. Subscribe to the YouTube, comment. I need to bump those numbers up. We got to get them up, everybody. Shout out to the 215. Go Birds. Play the song, baby. Clap the hands. Let's go, Sixers.